Welcome back to Softcore History. I'm your host for the week, Dan Regester, joined as always by Rob Fox.
What up?
And very special guest, Alex Buscemi.
What up, what up?
Back.
Is in the building. What's up, dude?
Dude, not much, man.
Clean cut, Boosh?
Do I look? I just look clean cut because I'm wearing a polo.
But you don't have a mullet anymore.
I haven't had the mullet for like a year.
Yeah, you haven't seen him in a
Or
long
like-
time, huh?
Clearly I haven't. When was the last time he was on the show? I don't remember.
Dude, last time I was on the show, I didn't have the mullet
He
anymore.
didn't.
Did you not? I'm not. I
Rob
don't know.
doesn't pay attention to
I don't pay
others.
attention to anything.
It doesn't matter. I'm excited for today because Boosh was telling me still a little drunk from last night.
Still fucked up. Yeah.
I am, yeah. I mean, I'm not. A Sunday morning, I told him I was like, dude, I was like, fuck, I don't know if I can make this, but I found a way for you guys.
We appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, it was supposed to be Sunday night, but then shit changed.
Yeah.
Got to work around the schedule of our bosses.
Yeah. This is not ideal. I'd prefer to be drinking right now, but
You can drink. He's drinking right
yeah,
now,
I'm-
too.
yeah.
I don't want to though.
Hair of the
Sunday
dog.
morning, dude, just like treat it like a brunch. You know?
It feels like I feel like I'll feel great in the moment, and then the rest of my day will be a living hell.
Yeah, you probably got to take the kids to practices and stuff, right? You got shit going on, I bet. You got to go
Dude,
to Costco.
Both of my
Yeah, I go to
parents
Costco
raised
today.
me while they were intoxicated. My mom was always drunk. My dad was always high.
Your dad was
I
always
turned
high?
out fine. Yeah, my dad was a huge pot smoker.
Really?
Really? I didn't know your parents were both blasted while they were.
Maybe that's what killed his lung.
Nah, dude, it was the chemicals he's breathing in for 40 years.
Weed is safe.
Yeah, of course. All the studies and all the podcasters told me that weed is actually good for your lungs.
Oh, yeah. Helps clear it out, man. It's of the earth, unlike tobacco.
Dude, there is nothing natural about the weed we're smoking now, dude.
No.
Like, that shit, it's like too much.
I feel like the weed that gets sold today is the equivalent of, like, everything is the blue ribbon pumpkin at the state fair.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not a normal sized pumpkin anymore. Every type of weed is just the freak pumpkin that they crossbred and filled
Yeah.
with shit until it was 1,000 pounds.
Yeah, dude, everybody has a 1,000-pound pumpkin now. And high as fuck, dude.
I don't want
It's
it.
too much.
I don't want it.
Yeah, it's weed that's just jacked to the gills.
Yeah.
Dude, get me the mids. Get me something that'll make me a little silly, a little hungry. I don't want to see
Like,
God
can you-
every time I take a
Right.
hit.
Can you imagine if every single beer was like 12 ABV? That's fucking weed now.
Yeah.
Like every single
I mean, that's craft beer too, though. Like,
yeah, like you can't drink 12 you can drink 12 Bud Lights, but you cannot drink 12 IPAs, right? Like that'll
Yeah.
black you fucking out.
I mean, 12 Bud Lights will black you out too, man. That's.
Pussy.
I mean, I guess it depends how quick you drink them. If it's 12 over, 10 hours, you'll be fine. But
Yeah, I'm usually like 12 over between 6 to 10. It's like a tailgate. That's a
yeah, you'd
tailgate
be
day.
fine.
Yeah.
But if you drink 12 in like 3 hours, you're gonna be blacked out.
This is actual
probably.
great preamble for our topic today.
Why is that?
A lot of substance abuse
Oh, yeah,
in this
well.
episode.
We love a good substance abuse. I'm sad that I'm not I forgot my Zins. I'm not drinking right now. Like nothing is going well for me.
I've already broken my non-energy drink fast.
Yeah, that was never going to last.
Coffee just doesn't do it for me anymore.
It's
I could drink 12 cups of cold brew, feel nothing.
cold brew explodes my heart. But what does
Explodes my asshole, but that's it.
Yeah, it's a good clear out for sure. I get these ads now on Instagram that are like, you could lose 10 pounds tomorrow by taking colon broom. You're just filled with poop. And I'm like, I don't think I am. Like, I'm pretty sure I am blasting it all out all the time.
Dude,
Yeah.
I want to say like 50% of my shits are diarrheas, and I feel like I live pretty healthy. Oh, I drink a lot, but
50% of your poops are emergencies?
not emergencies, but wet or loose.
Okay. Of that
Yeah.
50%, 50% of those, like 25% of your general bowel
How many
movements
are emergencies?
are a run to the toilet?
I don't know if run, but it's like
A fast-paced
Whoa,
jog.
yeah. Like, whoa.
I don't know about a run, but
A
it's like
speed walk.
I'm gonna need to find a toilet in the next 30, or
Yeah.
these pants are ruined.
Now, is that a good preamble?
Kind of, yeah. Perfect, actually. Today we're talking about a man the media portrayed as one of the most wicked, vile humans to ever live. A dude whose own religious mother called the Beast, and a guy many consider to be the father of modern-day occultism. He influenced the Beatles, Timothy Leary, and L Ron Hubbard.
Oh.
We, of course, are finally doing an episode on Alesiter Crowley.
Oh, right. I forgot. You told me you were going to do Aleister Crowley.
Mr. Crowley.
But you had to make sure Jake hadn't done it already, like 4 years ago.
Yep. He finally got back to me. He's like, yeah, somehow I missed that. Would have thought he led with this subject for
Jake,
the podcast.
Jake number 1, yeah.
Yeah. So Edward Alexander Crowley was born into a fundamental Christian Warwickshire family in October of 1875. His old man Ed was a retired engineer who cashed out his portion of the family's brewing business, Crowley's Alton Ale, before little Eddie came into the world. So they were banking on this brewing business.
Making bank or banking on it? As in, like,
no,
this
they
is
made
our
bank.
only hope.
No, they crushed.
Okay.
So he came into money pretty. Like,
Aleister
I mean, as soon
Crowley
as he
did?
was born, he had money
Okay.
because his dad's family was in this like
And he
ale
just
business.
cashed out his shares.
Yeah, his dad did.
Yeah.
His dad just cashed out, got a shit ton of money, and then retired.
Respect.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He was a former Quaker converted to evangelicalism, and Big Ed spent most of his retirement as a traveling preacher because ain't no zealot like a convert.
Yeah. Good Lord. What?
And
you're
he
going to do all that with beer money?
Yeah.
You're going to have all that beer money, and that's what you're going to do with it.
he would read a chapter of the Bible to his wife and little Ed every morning for breakfast.
Oh, that was insufferable.
Wait, a chapter? Because chapters aren't that long in the Bible.
Mhm.
It's
It's
like,
breakfast, dude.
yeah, it's like chapter 1, book 3, verse 3.
Okay,
verse
dude,
4.
I'm eating some eggs and some bread. It's not
Then
going to
the
take that long.
Yeah, I'm saying it's chapters aren't long. If it's like a book, he's like, today we're reading Genesis at breakfast.
No, just a chapter.
Buckle up.
We're not doing an entire
Yeah.
book of the Bible, my man. They had a pretty good relationship, or as much as a father and a son could back in the late 19th century. And Eddie described his pops as his hero and good friend.
Okay.
That was until his dad died of oral cancer when he was 11. And he often cited this as the turning point of his life.
Smoker.
Probably.
Dad's just, well, I mean, between all the coal in the air and his dad just having.
Chewing tobacco.
Yeah. Oral cancer seems like, it's just like it's just countdown to cancer back then.
They said specifically tongue cancer.
Yeah, you can get that from smoking and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Tongue cancer is nasty, though.
Any
It's foul.
any type of cancer like that. You saw those pictures. That was the most effective anti-tobacco thing I've ever seen. Was the fucking pictures of the dudes without jaws who did chewing tobacco or whatever.
Oh yeah.
I was just like, whoa, because like someone with lung cancer, it's like, well, it's their ugliness is on the inside.
Yeah.
I can't see it. I mean, I guess the
Yeah.
people with the like larynx.
Yeah.
smoking,
But they're not
smoke.
missing the lower half of their face.
Yeah, but when they're just like,
Yeah.
I was like, all right, well, I guess I won't chew it.
He inherited a third of his father's ale fortune and began to act up in school,
I
where
mean,
he was brutally beaten by Reverend Henry Darcy Chapney, who he described as a man of the cloth and a true sadist.
Jesus.
So he used to beat the fuck out of him for acting up.
hell yeah, it's for Jesus. He went home every night and he's like, Lord, why do these boys want a beating so badly? Why do you want me to give it to them? My arm's sore. Please, Lord.
This, of course, helped him check out of the whole Christianity thing. He started to pick fights with his teachers about the religion. And, just as an act of rebellion, started to smoke and bang prosties in his teens.
Hell yeah.
Oh, nice.
How old was? What year was this?
This is his teenage years.
I know,
So
what-
he's
what
like
year?
he's like 14 banging prostitutes.
He lost his virginity at 14.
Okay, but
Yeah.
what? I'm just saying, like,
He was born in 75. Do the
Okay,
math.
so 1889.
Yeah.
Sick. I'm just saying that's like literally he's banging prostitutes a year after Jack the Ripper is killing prostitutes.
We're going to mention Jack the Ripper real quick.
Okay,
here.
yeah.
you know they found Jack Ripper.
we did an episode on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
We just did that 2 weeks ago.
I was gonna say, yeah, they
So,
caught the guy. That's crazy.
He lost his virginity to one of the family's maids on his mother's bed. The maid was promptly fired and became a homeless drunk. It is rumored that she became one of Jack the Ripper's victims.
Dude.
Jesus Christ.
So he was wiener cousins with Jack the Ripper.
Well, maybe. I don't know if Jack fucked all the prostitutes he killed.
I hope.
yeah,
Can you
probably not.
imagine though? Yeah, I'm Eskimo Bros with Jack the Ripper.
That would be.
That's.
Do y'all have a famous Eskimo bro?
Yeah, he's less famous than he used to be, but yeah, Anthony Rizzo, the New York Yankees first baseman,
Oh, nice.
He won a World Series with the Cubs. He was better on the Cubs than he was on the Yankees.
Nice. Mine is my most famous Eskimo bro would be the lead singer of All That Remains.
I have an Eskimo bro that shares the same birthday as me.
Oh wow, you guys are true bros.
I know, Gronk.
You're Eskimo bros with Gronk? Eskimo bros with like top tier athletes though. That's way more impressive than the lead singer of All That Remains, the guy with the nipple rings.
I like that though.
Sex became a major vice in his life, and he contracted gonorrhea early on, which only agitated a pre-existing kidney disease. By college, he developed some more family-friendly hobbies like chess and mountain climbing, spending time in the Alps every year from 1894 to 1898.
Wait, so this guy just had gonorrhea for the rest of his life?
I think it cleared up a little bit. He gets more than gonorrhea, though.
Okay. Yeah, I think gonorrhea doesn't stick around. I don't know. I've never had an STD, so.
I've never had an STD either.
Aside from
Boosh,
it-
can you
Tell us about
educate us?
gonorrhea.
Tell us about gonorrhea.
I just have never had gonorrhea. I just got a fucking whatever it's called, STD check. I'm clean, baby.
Let's go.
And my T levels are good. You know, I got all the
stuff.
I got no engine lights on, no lights on the dashboard. I'm good to go,
There
baby.
you go.
That said, he was still banging out hookers pretty regularly and contracted syphilis while at Cambridge.
Oh, there's nothing you can do about that back then either. You're
Yeah,
just gonna go
That just
insane,
melts your brain.
slowly but surely.
Boy did it.
Boy,
In 1896, Crowley went away on holiday to Stockholm, and he had what he described as his first mystical experience, and by that, he just did a bunch of drugs and popped his cherry with dudes.
oh, I mean, when you've had enough prostitutes, I guess.
What about what you said isn't magical?
Well, he experienced it as horror and pain, yet at the same time, it was the key to the purest and holiest spiritual ecstasy that existed.
Okay, so he bottomed on drugs.
Well, if he said horror and pain, yeah, you have to assume he was a power bottom.
He bottomed.
He's a dominant. He sounds like a dominant man. I bet he was definitely a power bottom.
Yeah.
He was generating the thrust.
He was in charge the whole time. You know what I mean? So he bottomed while taking some drugs, and also his life was on drugs at this point because syphilis was just constantly fucking up his brain.
Probably better for the dude if he was the bottom because you got to get that dirty dick away.
Yeah. You're less likely to contract an STD.
From the ass? I don't know.
No, just topping.
Yeah.
No, you're much more likely to get an STD from anal sex.
Yeah.
Which is like if a woman has sex with a man with AIDS, it's like a 1% chance of transmission. But if they've anal, is like it skyrockets.
But is
Really?
the syphilis and
Yeah.
gonorrhea exclusively on his penis, or is it everywhere in his body?
the syphilis and gonorrhea? I mean,
he's not.
you transmit it through the penis. Like
Yeah.
I think you can hug a guy with syphilis and you'll be fine.
I don't mean that, but like if you're fucking a dude who has a gonorrhea dick in the
Oh
ass,
yeah. You can
are you more likely or less likely to get the gonorrhea?
less likely probably?
Because if he's
Oh,
fucking
than
you in the ass,
vaginal?
then you'll get the gonorrhea. I don't know how the math works.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
You're
know.
probably not gonna get gonorrhea.
I'm
from
just talking it out,
fucking a
boys.
guy with gonorrhea in the ass. I don't think you're gonna get it.
Okay, I think you're less likely. At
Yeah,
least.
but if that gonorrhea dick blasts the ass, then then you're getting gonorrhea.
Yes. Yeah. I think if you're receiving.
Receiving's way easier to get an STD.
Yes. Yeah. I imagine so.
which
It
is
just
why.
seems like it. Because it's going into you.
Yeah.
The next year, he moved to St. Petersburg in hopes of learning Russian and going down a diplomatic career path in the country,
Sure.
but became deathly ill in October of 1896 and came to grips with his own mortality. He also swallowed a major black pill that hard work amounts to nothing and life was ultimately pointless, and decided to give up on pursuing the geopolitical thing and shifted his energy and attention to occultism.
I mean, yeah, sure, why not?
That's the natural progression of the syphilitic mind.
It seems like he hasn't even tried to work that hard.
Why would he? Comes
Yeah.
from money, dude.
That is funny. That is such like a rich kid black pill thing. Like, everything's bullshit. Nothing matters. I'm not happy with all this.
That's what he thinks at first, and then eventually that kind of escalates into like just do what you want,
Yeah.
which becomes a religion.
Which is hilarious because he's already doing what he wants.
Yeah.
Entirely. If you're going to Sweden on a whim to get drilled by other dudes, you're doing whatever you want.
That wasn't his intention, all right? He just did a bunch of drugs, and one thing led to another.
Just saying, you're living whatever life you're... Like, no one's stopping you from doing anything at that point.
Oh, certainly. I mean,
Yeah.
we haven't even gotten to most of his life, and where he just picks up and does whatever he wants.
Yeah. Yeah.
You guys keep going. I'm going to take a bathroom break.
And we're back.
I had to take a little hangover shit.
Really not great for your, numbers of not being an emergency dump.
That one was definitely an
previous
emergency.
statement.
In my defense, I drank a lot last night. I like how you guys have an alpha bidet too. Like, it's not gay getting water up my butt. It's an alpha bidet, bro.
We have not
I'm still
installed
alpha.
that yet. No.
Yeah, we still haven't installed it. They ordered it, and they're like, yeah, we'll put them in. So I was like, I'm not installing that.
I don't want to share a bidet with other men.
No.
It's not like, I mean, what? Why would that?
I don't know.
Would that be?
It's a weird
like-
thing to
I'm
have
not
in an
using
office.
a public bidet.
No.
A public bidet?
I mean, dude, if you go to Thailand or the Philippines, like they're all public bidets, but it's not. It's like a hose that you take off the wall, and
That's a nightmare.
it looks like a garden hose basically, and then you just like take it off the wall and just put it between your legs and go, just
Yeah.
like rinse your.
I want to get blasted in the ass by water in the comfort of my own home. I don't want to do it
Right.
at work. All right,
It's
I'll
too
stick to
private
paper.
too private of an
And
ordeal.
too
also,
intimate.
we were just talking about getting gonorrhea up the asshole. Let me tell you something right now. I'm not blasting Thai tap water into my fucking asshole.
Dude, that might have been how I had my medical issues there. Who
Like,
knows?
truly, it's not happening.
Yeah, it wasn't the fucking ghost, dude.
It was throwback.
Crowley began reading fine literature like the Book of Black Magic and Pacts of the Cloud upon the Sanctuary. He also wrote his own publications like The White Stain, which was a series of poems on male masturbation.
Sweet.
A series of poems. Tell me you have one of them here for us.
I don't, but
Oh, come on.
I'll find it.
That's
I'll find it.
a series of poems on male masturbation.
he did a lot of this stuff. I'm not going to cite every one of his publications. He wrote a lot.
a lot of poems about jacking it.
Yeah, dude.
That's awesome.
Now, I will say he may sound kind of like an edgelord and a little bit of a tryhard with certain things, especially when it comes to sex. But I do think it was always a little tongue-in-cheek. He was a little bit self-aware.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you're writing poems about jacking off, they had to be like comedic poems, right?
And he wasn't necessarily the most handsome man, so the fact that he was able to pull a lot of ass outside of the prostitutes meant he had a bunch of charisma.
Yeah, he was rizzing them up. But dude, was anybody attractive back then? I feel like late 1800s, early 1900s, pre-dental care.
Yeah, it feels like there weren't many.
Don't spend too much time looking for it either.
It's hard to. I'm finding like the book, but I'm not finding. Yeah.
Yeah. In 1898, he visited Switzerland and hooked up with chemist Julian L. Baker, discussing their shared love of alchemy. Baker introduced Crowley to his brother-in-law, who was a member of the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, a secret society dedicated to dark magic and spiritual development. Modern-day Wicca and Thelema rituals and traditions are inspired from the group. Crowley was initiated by the group's leader, Samuel Liddell McGregor Mathers, into the Outer Order a few months later in November 1898.
So you got in quick.
Mm-hmm.
I think you did stuff with them.
He was also rich.
Yeah. You get fast tracked. Like if you go up to Scientology, you pull up in a fucking Benz, a fucking Range Rover.
It's like being a legacy in a fraternity.
Yeah, they're like, oh, hey, right to the front of the line. Whereas like some poor person's like, please, I just need answers. I'll do anything. They're like, wait your fucking turn.
Our guy moved into a luxury flat in London and invited senior Golden Dawn member Alan Bennett to live with him to be his own personal magic tutor.
Okay.
Bennett essentially taught Crowley some low-end Gen Ed level 100 magic
Like what?
And they did a bunch of drugs together, all in the name of ritual purposes. Dude,
He's
I don't
just
fucking
losing
know. I didn't
he's
really
just
look
losing
into
his
the books.
mind. His mind is just withering away.
And I assume they were banging.
You should always assume he's banging.
Yeah.
He's fucking all these dudes.
Like, but it's not gay. It's like pansexual. Like they're banging each other. They get 5 hookers. They bang them together.
Yeah.
Like one just watches the other bang. They just jerk off in front of each other one night. The next night they're just banging hookers, not even really caring about each other. And then like one day they just tired, so they just blow each other. Like it's just.
Let's just 69 tonight.
It's just I don't have the energy.
Although this group was a little bit anti-homoeroticism.
Doesn't sound like it.
Do you guys think they did?
Well, not with this guy, but
Right.
the group as a whole. Well, and we'll get to it later.
Do you guys think they did a 4-person 69, also known as the hashtag?
Ooh.
A 4-person 69. It's called a hashtag.
Well, they probably did the original swastika symbol because it was like Hindu and
How would that work?
peace and prosperity.
I think you need 8 people for that, maybe. Right?
Yeah. And
Depends
some
how
people,
flexible
some
you
people
are.
wouldn't be giving. Or some people would only be receiving if you're at the end of the swastika. You know?
I mean, let's
if you're
see.
an arm of the swastika, like at the outer arm.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You're not
6.
accounting that you could just bend your legs.
I guess, yeah. Well, then that could just be 2 people.
I think they just had good old fashioned fuck piles.
Yeah.
Back to the pile, boys.
Back to the pile.
Bennett eventually left for South Asia and totally flipped the switch on his life from darkness to light, becoming instrumental in introducing Buddhism to the United Kingdom. So he gets out of Dodge with this group and leaves Crowley alone. In November of 1899, Crowley purchased a large manor on the shore of Loch Ness in Scotland.
Interesting.
He got ingrained in Scottish culture and began wearing the traditional Highland dress.
What a turd. He just like goes places and absorbs the culture.
He
also,
does.
I should note that it's funny that his buddy just woke up one day. He woke up kind of like I woke up this morning, where it's like, you drink too much. You drink too much.
You got to turn this around.
Yeah, and then like that guy woke up and he's like, "This is ridiculous. You cannot keep doing opium and fucking whores and Aleister all night, every night. Like it's just you're running through opium and holes left and right. You gotta stop. Go to." And then like his solution for that was, "You need to go to East Asia. You're doing too much opium, banging too many whores. You got to go to East Asia."
Fine enlightenment.
There's going to be even more hookers and opium in East Asia, dude. That's like their whole thing.
It's like me being like, it's like if you were just like, "Oh God, I'm eating too much hamburgers and chili. I gotta go to Ohio."
Yeah.
Like it's just what? You're
Too many pierogies. I got to go to Cleveland.
right.
Crowley got through his beginner's defense against the dark arts courses and was ready to move on to level 2 of the order. That said, he was not particularly liked or even tolerated much within the secret society. The whole banging dudes thing was a big hang-up for most of the boys in the Magic Club. Weird.
Really? Magic's like the gayest thing
I
ever.
was gonna say, "Hey man, get your gay shit out of our magic club." Aleister Crowley's the only one with any self-awareness. You're right.
You're right. Yeah. The London chapter refused to upgrade his sorcery skills and welcomed him into the Second Order, so our wealthy wizard went to Paris to visit the head honcho of the operation, who initiated Crowley from the jump, Samuel Liddell McGregor Mathers. Please try not to cough into the mic too much.
I moved the mic away.
How sick are you gonna be? You're gonna be sick for life now?
I'm not sick. I just have some leftover little drippings.
He's not sick. He's ill.
Yeah, that's also true.
Mathers gave Crowley clearance to level 2, and that pissed off everyone else in London, to the point that they straight up isolated both men from the group. Crowley,
Isn't this thing pay to play?
yeah, but they're like, you've been in a fraternity, you fucking hate people in your
You hate
group.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't fuck with you anymore.
Yeah, like, dude, this guy sucks. Let's stop bringing him around.
I talked to like 5 guys from my fraternity still. Maybe. Like on a routine basis.
I would say I'm friends with like 10 or 12.
Yeah, but you're not talking to them.
On a daily basis, no. But I don't talk to most people on a daily basis.
I don't talk to like anybody on a daily
I'm not like,
basis.
"Hey guys." What's
Hey,
up?
boys.
Well, no, modern friendship now is just sharing memes on Instagram.
Yeah, basically. Some
Just back and
funny
forth.
reel you found.
Like, you don't even say, hey, this reminds me of yours. It's just like, here's a meme. You share a meme. He shares a meme. Back and
Dude,
forth.
I was talking to this woman who's Gen Z, and she's like, yeah, me and my friend will sit in the same room together and send each other reels back and forth
That's a nightmare.
while we're just sitting in the same room.
It's awful.
I know. I was like, Jesus Christ, your generation is cooked.
Yeah. Absolute garbage generation. But whatever. Who cares? I don't care. Do what you want.
Crowley went on to Mexico in 1900, where he chilled for a little bit with a mamacita, got initiated apparently into the Freemasons, climbed a few mountains, escaping a volcanic eruption at one point, and wrote a play and a series of poems that he published into another book.
He's like the most interesting man alive. Like, you just casually throw in escaped a erupting volcano.
Yeah,
If
we're
that's
like,
if that's a little aside in your life.
we're only like a
Right.
page in right now. We still got plenty more.
Good
ballpark.
Lord.
How many dudes has he fucked at this point? How many people has he fucked at this point?
People?
Dude.
He's quad. He's 4 digits.
I don't
for
know
sure.
about this point, but in his lifetime, I wouldn't put it past like the Wilt Chamberlain numbers.
Oh, well,
Like what, 10,000?
10,000.
yeah. Oh man,
5 figs.
damn.
Has anyone hit
That is
6 figs? That's what I want to know.
I mean, prostitutes probably.
6 figs is so many.
I mean, they just are fucking all day.
I'm sure the porn star that got pregnant from 1,000 dudes will at one point try
Dude,
to.
there's no way she fucked.
She always
1,000
elevates and moves
Yeah.
the goalposts.
She just no way she fucked 1,000 dudes a day. Like some of those guys were definitely just like jerking off in the corner. And she just
Logistically,
counted
it
Yeah.
doesn't seem possible.
Yeah.
I guess maybe they put their penis in and then leave.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
yeah. There's no way that they all nutted that
Does
quick.
that count? No, I don't think a nut counts. Like, sex doesn't fully have to be a nut, right?
I mean,
Yeah, right.
As long as
Yeah.
penetration happens.
Unless she grips like that, like the
I think you
retarded
count
kid
it.
holding the class hamster.
the average human being lives 29,000 days. That's like your lifespan, 29,000 days.
Yeah. Well, he lived into his 70s,
I'm just saying,
but I'm telling
you
you,
got to be knocking out.
let's do the math though. He lived into his 70s.
Right. But he started fucking at 14.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
I think a prostitute could hit like 10,000.
10,000, no question. I'm saying 6 figures.
Oh, okay.
100,000 bodies.
Oh, there's no way anyone's ever hit that many.
It's too hard.
I don't know. There might be someone in 1900 England.
No, there's just mathematically you can't do it.
Yeah, you're probably right.
56 times 365. So he was sexually active for 20,000 days, basically.
Mm.
So he'd have to be putting away 5 a day.
That's a life
And you have
well
to
lived.
keep that pace.
And you can't repeat,
No.
right?
Oh yeah. If you have this, that doesn't count.
Yeah,
If
so
it's the
there's
same
got to
person.
be some flirtatious, time built in. There's got to be some foreplay, maybe.
Just saying, nobody.
You're not just inserting dry, right?
Nobody's ever done it, as far as I'm
No.
concerned.
Yeah. But damn it, Aleister got close, dude.
Has anyone
He
even had
tried.
sex 100,000 times in their life?
Yeah, you and your wife.
No
dude.
way.
You love her so much.
Yeah, I have more children than anyone here and less sex. She's been pregnant for 3 years. I've basically had sex like 5 times.
Every time you enter her, you pop out a baby.
Yeah, because I mean, once she's pregnant, it's just like over.
You're not into it?
The horny pregnant chick thing is bullshit. At least for me. Just
Come on.
9 months of like a random blowjob here or there.
Oh, that's not. I like random blowjobs are the best kind. We weren't expecting, and then suddenly,
Yeah.
suddenly you're in her mouth. That's great. That's exactly the sound I make when I get a blowjob.
Yeah. Now her dad subscribes to this show, but I don't think he listens to it.
No, probably not. You would have heard at this point whether or not
Yeah.
you crossed a line.
Yeah.
And you've said much worse.
Much.
But maybe he's a Crowley boy.
Yeah,
Like
maybe he
low-key.
was like, oh,
It's like, wow, this is actually
finally an
interesting.
episode I care about. And I'm just like, yeah, my wife on my fucking dick.
Oh God, no! And then Rob goes, "Wee."
Yeah.
So he gets bored with Mexico, said deuces to the Hispanic mommy, and left to Hawaii on a ship from San Francisco.
This guy's just going everywhere.
Yeah.
Yo, I went on a Bumble date with a Hispanic mommy very recently.
Like a mother.
No. She's
No, just a
she's not a
mommy,
mother.
dude.
She's just
A
a mommy,
baddie.
mamacita.
Well,
Yeah.
you never know.
But
Oh,
yeah, I'm 32. I want to say half the chicks in my dating pool.
yeah, but he
are
said that
single moms.
because you implied that she was Hispanic.
It's the double.
She's from Mexico.
It's the double. It's that she's Hispanic and you're in your 30s. It's a miracle she didn't have a child.
I know, right? But yeah, we were talking about colleges for some reason. And she's like, "Oh yeah, I had a friend who went to jail." And I was like, "Oh, what'd they do to go to jail?" She was like, "Oh, studied really hard, got a scholarship." I was like, "A scholarship to go to jail?" She's like, "No, jail." I was like, "What?" She's like, "The college in Boston, Yale," because
Yale.
because of her accent,
say Yale.
she couldn't say Yale. Yeah. I was like, this has to be like a George Lopez bit.
Probably
somewhere.
because they'll text you not ha 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 ha. It's ja ja ja
Yeah,
ja ja ja.
yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny.
While on the boat, he had an affair with a married woman by the name of Mary Alice Rogers. Fell in love with her and wrote a series of poems and published a romance book about the whole thing. I'm sure her husband was thrilled to pick up a copy about his unfaithful wife getting piped down by a magic man at sea.
I think what's funnier is you wonder if she's like, "Oh, your poems are so beautiful. Can I read your older poems? Do you have other poems?" And he's like, "Oh, no.
They're like all
No.
about jacking
No,
off.
these are the first poems I ever wrote."
What's white stains?
Yeah. Oh, it's nothing.
It's ectoplasm from the ghosts.
Crowley went on to Japan and Hong Kong, where he briefly reconnected with Alan Bennett. Bennett was like, "I'm about this path of enlightenment and reincarnation." Crowley wasn't feeling it at all.
Crowley's like, "Let me toss one in for old time's sake, huh, Benny?
He didn't do that.
Come on."
Well, they
go.
definitely dicked each other down.
So he wasn't down with the Buddhism, but he's like, maybe I'll give Hinduism a chance.
Yeah, it's Buddhism's crazier cousin.
So he goes to India, and he keeps it chugging along. He ends up getting malaria and has to hunker down and recover in Calcutta. He eventually gets better, and for some reason has a sweet idea to invite his mountain climbing boys from college to conquer K2, which at that point had never been done. No one
Oh,
had
good
ever
Lord.
climbed K2. It's like, we're going to be the first.
Yeah, sweet. I think that's stupid to do now, let alone then.
So all throughout his life, too, there's just this background theme of him trying to conquer mountains with his college buddies. Like, they're never around for the occultism or the crazy magic shit, but they're like, "Yeah, dude, I'll fucking climb K2 with you."
Yeah, he just calls them up, and they're like, you got to think there's like a, obviously not a group text, but like a whatever the that times version of the group text is, where it's just like, "Dude, did you read Aleister's book?
Yeah.
What the fuck
For sure,
is he
dude.
up to?"
Because I have buddies that I'll go back to Orlando and hang out with, and like I have a good time, but like I don't keep up to date with their day to day.
Right. But one of them does, right? Like there's always one that's more plugged in, and they'll just be like, "Dude, Aleister's been actually up to some really weird fuck. Like I know he seems normal because I feel like he just kind of reverts when we're around like college days, but like
We're just rehashing old stories.
he's been getting into some shit, dude. He's in like 8 different black societies. He's banging anything. What like any woman? No, anything. Thing. I'm just telling you, like, I don't know if we should climb this mountain this time. Aleister's getting into. For all we know, Aleister wants to open a portal at the top and die. Like, I'm just warning you now. He's not the Aleister you remember. Like, it's fine, dude. We climb mountains. What we do? Come on, college. Yeah, fuck yeah. Aleister's just writing poems about getting anal.
They only get about 20,000 feet up before eventually ripping the cord and turning back. So K2 is about 28,000 feet.
Okay. We got so close.
They were close.
Did they, though?
No.
I feel like it's the last 8,000s what really,
That's when it goes straight the fuck up.
yeah, it's what really gets you.
They all get hit with like a crazy flu. Crowley developed snow blindness for his efforts.
Ooh.
Didn't bring sunglasses.
No. Crowley at this point had enough of India and Pakistan, and he goes to Paris in 1902.
Okay. Back to where is he meeting with, with his magic boys again?
No, he makes friends with painter Gerald Kelly and weasels his way into both the French art scene and the pants of Kelly's sister.
Okay. Good for him. What happened to his love
The married woman?
that he fell in love with on a boat?
She went back to her husband.
Okay.
Yeah. No, dude, this is a common theme with his whole life. He falls in love with women for a brief period, and then he moves on.
Yeah.
Although,
What a boss.
Crowley actually marries Rose Edith Kelly in 1903 in a self-described marriage of convenience at first to help Rose avoid an arranged situation her family set up. This blew up his friendship with Gerald, but Crowley eventually comes to love Rose the more time he spends with her, especially on their honeymoon to Cairo and Sri Lanka.
Now, they married, but they weren't into each other?
At first.
So they bang on the honeymoon, basically?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Dude, to travel this much in pre-airplane times is crazy.
This guy spent his whole life on a boat.
Yeah, dude, that's wild.
Dude, that ale must have been good to make that kind of fortune. While in Cairo in February of 1904, Aleister and Rose set up a temple room in their apartment where they would bang and invoke ancient Egyptian deities.
What? God damn, he just gets anyone in on this shit.
That's his whole game, probably.
Yeah.
You know, he's just like those guys with man buns and shit today, you know.
Opening up chakras.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to enlighten you with my penis.
With
That
my-
was
well,
covered
no.
in gonorrhea.
My root chakra.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like the one single guy who goes to the hot yoga class and sits in the front of the room and just preys on women afterwards.
He's flexible.
Respect the game.
Must have had some good drug-fueled sessions because Rose starts getting delirious from all the dickmatizing and starts telling Aleister that
Dignitizing.
God Horus was waiting for him. So she goes nuts.
Perfect.
They go to a museum and she shows him this 7th century stone that was exhibit 666. He takes it as a sign, knowing it was the number of the beast, and suddenly starts hearing a messenger of Horus who apparently yaps for the next 3 days as Aleister writes down everything that is dictated to him and creates the Book of Law.
Oh, so he went Joseph Smith style.
Mhm.
He was like, a voice only I can hear. While his wife is what, like going insane and blowing him and sleeping and going insane and
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Also,
Well, she was also an alcoholic, allegedly.
alcoholic. Got to think she's got his syphilis by this point.
Yeah, it's probably the syphilis brain.
Yeah. I'm surprised this guy's still walking around okay, to be honest.
He made it to like 72,
That's
man.
crazy.
And he got gonorrhea and syphilis at like 14 and 17 or something. Like,
The gonorrhea, that goes away. But yeah, the syphilis is 17.
I don't think he treated it,
No, of course he didn't treat it.
so it didn't go away.
Does
It just lingered.
Does the
It
body
festered.
fight it off eventually?
It could. I don't know.
The syphilis, it won't.
No, dude, I mean, this all, by all accounts, sounds like a man who's going insane more and more. Like, he had syphilis brain, for sure.
Long story short, Aleister was tripping balls, and he wrote this nonsense about humanity entering a new timeline and being the right prophet to guide the world forward.
Interesting how we say this all the time. It's like, oh yeah, our time being alive is different, and we're about to enter into a new age. This time, our time now, it's different from all the other times. We're the ones that are turning the page and entering a new era of humanity. You're not. You're fucking not.
Inside,
You're
it said
just
to
alive.
steal the stone from the museum, fortify his own island, and translate the book into the world's languages. Crowley sobered up, though, and didn't do any of that. He sent a few copies to his occultist friends, but largely ignored his own ramblings and grew to hate the book at first. It's like, what the fuck was I on?
See, this is the one mountain climbing friend. There's one mountain climbing friend that gets the book, and he's like, Jesus Christ, dude.
But it is crazy. He is a little self-aware.
He's winky. He winks
He's
at
a
you.
little winky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, what the fuck was I on last night? He said, the fact of the matter is that I resented the Book of Law with my whole soul. I was bitterly opposed to the principles of the book on almost every point of morality.
So everything he wrote was just like, this is obscene. This is gratuitous.
Listen, he was just dictating what he was told, all right?
Yeah.
Even for a man who spent half his life writing poems about jacking off, this
Right.
was too much for him.
This guy just was like in a like sex relationship with another man where like anything went.
Do you have any of these laws on hand here?
Dude, it's a whole book. So despite this, the Book of Law becomes the sacred text of the Thelema religion and discovers one's true will and true path guided by love.
Mhm.
It's just like, do what you want.
Just pure hedonism.
Yeah, the whole so it's like anarcho hedonism.
Mm-hmm.
You just like whatever you want to fuck something. You want to doesn't matter what it is, doesn't matter. It all just comes down to that too. That's how you know it's like that it's like someone's beliefs are bullshit when it all just boils down to like their dick and like jamming your dick in places. It's like so it all of it, the meaning of life comes down to you taking your fucking monkey dick and jamming it in monkey holes.
It's really that simple, Rob.
Yeah. I don't know.
That is the meaning of life, I
I
think.
feel like there might be more to it than that, but you know what? You have fun jamming monkey holes.
I don't know. That's how you create life, Rob.
It's how you create life. But it's not how you nurture life.
So he goes back to Scotland with his wife. They pop out his first kid and daughter, Lilith. And he writes a book of smut to entertain his recovering wife while also starting his own publication company called The Society or Propagation of Religious Truth, which was just a parody of an already existing publisher called the Society of Promoting Christian Knowledge.
Ah, that's fun.
Yeah.
I like that. Also, named his daughter Lilith, huh?
Mm-hmm.
The, like, evil chick from the Bible?
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah. No,
He knows what he's doing. Yeah.
he's a smart dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crowley then goes to the Himalayas with his rock climbing buddies once more. They get into a big argument and break away from Crowley, dying while climbing down in the process. Crowley is blamed for their death, and he loses all credibility and a favorable reputation within the climbing community.
They all died. All his buddies died?
Like most of them, yeah.
Yeah, see, I told you. That's what happened at the last climb. The guy was like, I'm just telling you guys, I know that you're like, oh, it's cool old Aleister, like funny, kind of weird, but funny Aleister. He is getting fucking crazy. And then they're like, whatever. And then like, next climb, what happens? Mm-hmm. He gets them all killed.
They got into a blow up.
They're like on the mountain. They're like, Aleister, we're not saying another prayer to a fucking goat. God damn it. Oh my God, there's a blizzard coming.
And then,
just leaving. We're just leaving you. We're just leaving you.
And then he survives.
Like, yeah.
Pray to the goat.
He goes back to India to big game hunt, write homoerotic poetry, and hang with his wife and child in Calcutta before being forced to leave the country after shooting 2 locals who attempted to mug him.
Well, they tried to mug him.
Self-defense.
I like that he's just sitting there writing like gay poetry while his wife is taking care of his kids. What are you writing, Aleister? Nothing. Just poems. Poems for me? No, not for you. Don't worry. Just things I wish you could do that you bloody can't.
They move to explore China, and Crowley gets into opium.
Finally. It took this long?
Well, dude, opium's not widely available all the time. Especially, and if there's one place you're going to do opium, it's China.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, dude, that opium, was it around this time that it basically brought China to its knees?
Yeah. This is like probably peak opium China, which is like the main theory of why. Even though we didn't do it, they're like, this kind of, the U.S. is the West now. We're the new England or whatever. So that's why they're kind of just like pump them with fentanyl.
Yeah. That's the long game.
Yeah.
The revenge tour.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
While on this kick, he starts talking to his holy guardian angel on a daily basis.
Oh. Not Horus this time?
It kind of goes back and forth.
You got a couple different gods he talks to.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Apparently, there's ancient Egyptian deities, there's Greek gods, there's UFOs that he talks to.
And then just your classic guardian angel.
And a guardian angel. Rose and Lilith go back to Europe. Aleister stays all opiumed up in Shanghai and meets up with an old female colleague, Elaine Simpson. She is interested in the copies of the Book of Law that he sent to her. They perform a bunch of rituals, most likely bone the whole time.
Yeah.
And
that's a given.
they try to contact the messenger of Horus, Aiwass. It's just a guy he creates. That's the messenger that was dictating him the Book of Law.
What was his name? It's like not even Egyptian. It's like just make something that sounds Egyptian.
Aiwass.
Yeah, Aiwass, whatever. Like it's the equivalent of making up a Chinese name. And you're like,
Horus, it's Horus. Horus is talking to us, but just not directly.
Right. Like what ancient Chinese guy is talking to you? Feng? Yeah, Feng. His name's Feng. That sounds Chinese, right? It's just a nonsense word. Or like what English god is talking to you? Chornk? Yeah, Chornk. That's an English word, right? Sounds English. Chork. That's the Egyptian equivalent of this. He's just making up an Egyptian word.
Mm-hmm. He gallivants a little more in Japan and Canada before returning home, where he learns that his daughter has died of a fever. He blames Rose for drinking too much and not taking care of their child, again, as he's smoking opium and fucking around the world.
Yeah.
He gets involved with an actress and another author while pumping another baby girl into Rose. Lola Zaza was born in 1907, and Crowley starts getting back into his ritual life, this time with hashish.
Okay. I like that he's just on the other side of the world. And he's like, you didn't take care of our daughter good enough, you dumb bitch.
Here's another one to replace the last.
Yeah. Fucking hate you. It's
Put
one
the,
thing when Ben
put the bottle down and give our baby a bottle.
It's one thing for Ben Franklin to get mad at his wife for the kid dying since she wouldn't like get him a smallpox vaccine or whatever. She's like, I don't trust it. We'll just baptize them. But like, what, dude? You're just having orgies. You're just having black magic orgies
In Shanghai.
in Shanghai. It's like 2 on the nose, and she's just like alone and drinking. Look, maybe she was a drunk. She probably was a drunk. She's fucking crazy too.
Probably like Oppenheimer's wife or his second wife in the movie,
Yeah.
where she's just at Los Alamos at the house. You're never around. You're not good to me.
I kind of felt that when she was like, "Oh, the monster's crying again." It's like the baby. I'm like, ooh. I mean, I get where you're coming from, but it's your fucking kid, lady. But I get it. But it's your fucking kid. But I get it. But just drink. That was a Shane Gillis sketch on Saturday Night Live last night. Couple of beers. It's a new medication. It'll make your entire life better. Just have a couple of beers.
Couple beers.
Yeah.
Couple beers.
He writes an entire book dedicated to the mysticism benefits of hashish. Aiwass, during this time, suddenly starts dictating more books to Aleister.
Oh.
Shocker, I know. And these are all adopted into the Thelema religion. Upon further review, he actually loved the Book of Law. And
Why? Because other people were like, "This rules."
And its representation of objective truth. I think so.
Yeah. I could never do that. Like, if other people were like, this is the funniest thing you ever did, and I was like, and I like looked at it and was like,
That's happened before.
for sure
Where
not.
things that I put minimal effort into and things I'm just like, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
I'll put it out. Especially when we were writers. We
Yeah.
were all writers. That usually got the most traction. It was like, dude, I fucking love that. I'm like, oh, really?
Be like, oh, that was stupid.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. I still like truly. There's no way that other people liking something would make me be like, you know what? That was dope. Because I can still read it and remember every fucking thought I had before a stranger was
Right.
like, it's sick. And there's no way I could lie to myself on that level.
I would think, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, I know. I'd be like, have you read this, or this? Or watched this video? Because they're all way better. And then literally, I think I've done that before, and they'll be like, it was good, all right.
And then you start to doubt yourself. Oh, fuck, dude.
Yeah.
What's wrong with me?
All it tells me is like, you don't know. Just write something down because you don't know.
Your boos mean nothing to me because I've seen what makes you cheer.
That's one of the greatest lines ever written.
Yeah.
What is that from?
Rick and Morty.
No,
Yeah, Rick and Morty.
never seen it.
You never watched Rick and Morty?
Nope.
What? Dude, Rick and Morty's great.
That's
I
fine.
haven't watched it.
I just
Any of the new.
I have no
stuff,
desire to watch
but
Rick and Morty.
It's truly excellent.
Yeah, it's great.
It was quite groundbreaking.
Especially the first, 3 seasons.
Yeah. It's truly excellent.
By this time, his family ale money was starting to run dry. So he buckled down and got a blue-collar job to help provide for his family. Yes, he finally got an honest day's work, convincing the Earl of Tankerville that he could protect them, or him, from witchcraft.
Oh, so he's kind of Rasputining at this point.
Yeah, a little bit.
He's like, you must listen to me, and I will protect you from all the witches trying to get you. Like, what witches?
Well, the Earl of Tankerville was fearing his mother, actually. He was practicing witchcraft
On him?
Yeah.
Okay. And you can't just hang a witch anymore. In fact, you're past the time now. Like, now if you accuse someone of witchcraft, people would think that you're fucking crazy. It's not like back in the day.
Yeah.
When you can be like, they're a witch. And they're like, oh, fuck. And then hang it.
Right.
Like, now it's like, they're a witch. And they're like, oh, fuck. Put him in a sanitarium. This guy's fucking crazy.
Aleister realized the Earl was a paranoid cocaine addict, schizo,
Hell yeah.
so he took him to France and Morocco and took away the booger sugar to allow him to heal.
I think
And suddenly the witchcraft fears went away because he was no longer addicted to cocaine.
No longer wildly paranoid. If I was going to say, that seems like the worst thing Aleister could have done was get
France
him
and
off of
Morocco.
cocaine. Yeah.
Oh, maybe. I mean, if he wanted to keep getting paid,
That's what I mean. Milk
Yeah.
this man dry.
he's an honest man.
I fucking guess. He's never misrepresented who he is. Honest to God. Like, he's been like, I'm Alesiter Crowley, pervert extraordinaire.
He also began taking in paying students to pass along his knowledge of the dark arts. His most notable being Victor Neuburg, who became his closest disciple and dedicated cocksucker.
Dedicated cocksucker.
How literal are you being with that?
Very.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
What do you mean? Of course he's having this dude blow him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me show you the darkest magic of all. Just right there. It's so funny, too, because, like, at some point, like, this is, like, a thing in the Da Vinci Code, too. They're, like, sex rituals or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it's, like, a thing in the Da Vinci Code. Clearly, he's doing this as, like, it's part of the magic or it's part of you learning or whatever. But, like, at some point, there's no magic to it because you are just, like, like, there's nothing magical about the... Or like in the Da Vinci Code, the funniest thing about the Da Vinci Code when they're talking about the there's like she walked in on like a sex ritual when she was a kid or whatever for the whatever secret society that's protecting Mary Magdalene. Like at some point during the ritual, you're just like, okay, hold on, okay, yeah, right there, okay, yeah, okay, good, got it. Like what? Where's God?
There's definitely some awkward moments, right?
Yeah, like where's God in that? Like you can't watch that and be like. Oh, like it's just like ball slapping and fucking chugging dick. There's no way you can watch that and be like, just feel holy. Like it's just like this is hilarious. It's not wrong, but
they weren't
it's not
trying to be
holy.
holy though. They were trying to just do whatever they wanted.
Maybe they were, but the Da Vinci Code one always made me laugh because they were like, it was like a whole ritual, but it is just like, all right, hold on, all right, yeah, right, okay, good, yeah, okay, hold on a minute, I'm a little sore from yesterday's ritual. Just yeah, okay.
They would routinely travel together and take part in S&M, aka bondage,
Okay.
spankings, and whippings.
Chains and whips excite me.
George Cecil Jones and Crowley decided to start their own order in November of 1907. The result was AA.
With what?
AA.
Alcoholics Anonymous?
Maybe?
What?
No, it's not. It
Okay.
says different AA.
What did it
you know
stand
what'd be
for?
Great? Like, did you know that? I hope that Aleister Crowley's just like, hey, buddy, remember that club we were in? Yeah. Well, I started magic classes, and it was like 12, guys there or whatever, and one of them was so into it that I was able to talk him into sucking my dick a lot. Should we do more of this? Should we make a whole club?
Yeah, that's what the 12-step program actually is.
We're like gods, and we can just convince anyone to suck our dick anytime
That's
we want.
step 6 of AA.
Yeah.
Steps 1 through 6 are just different ways of fucking Aleister. Aleister Anonymous.
Yeah.
Wait, what did AA actually stand for in this story?
Who could say?
You don't know.
This is softcore history. We only go.
We only go surface level.
The rituals were ripped directly from the Golden Dawn, but added a Thelemic twist to them. In 1909, Crowley was sick and tired of the developing alcoholism of his wife that he ignored and routinely cheated on. So he files for divorce.
You need to grow up, lady. Sure, I'm gone half the year in India and Morocco and Indonesia. And yes, I'm banging every hole I can find. Boys, girls, other stuff that I'm not even going to mention to you. Grow up. Grow up. You drink too much.
Dude, how many kids was she raising on her own at this point?
I think just the one, right?
Just the one now, because
just
the
one.
other died.
The other died.
Which is one kid is actually extremely manageable unless you only have one kid and you have no idea how manageable it is.
We also have no idea how many other kids he has.
Oh, him running around got 1 million kids.
Yeah.
They're just all over the place.
They
yeah.
have rough estimates. I think they say 5-ish.
Okay. Ish.
One for every continent.
There's definitely a dude later on that like claims to be Crowley's bastard that kind of takes his mantle,
okay.
and everyone's just like, you kind of fall shit.
Yeah, you kind of suck.
Give
also.
him a DNA test, which they did not have, so you could just say whatever.
She finally finds the help she needs, though, and by that I mean she's institutionalized a few years later.
Yes. Bring back sanitariums. Free mental health? Oh, I'm sorry. Are we against free mental health? If it's not the way you want it, if it's not the way you want it, then you don't want it.
Crowley and his boy toy Neuberg go to Algeria and beat each other with switches or something while reading the Quran.
The Quran?
Yeah.
They go to Algeria and read the Quran while doing the most un-Quran shit possible.
Whipping each other sounds fairly Quran-esque.
That does, but then when they start 69ing each other right afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, when they just you can't read the Quran all day and then dump ropes into your buddy all night.
I think you can.
I think that's the world I want to live in, but it's not the world we live in.
Let's read the Quran while inside of each other.
They also perform a mountaintop sex ritual and blood sacrifice that Crowley sees as a watershed moment in his magic career.
So he just fucks him on top of a mountain?
Yeah, for a couple days.
Okay.
It also was apparently too much for Neuberg, as he eventually goes his separate way soon after.
I mean, there's only...
He broke him.
So much. My assumption, too, is like this guy's probably got a pretty fresh butthole.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
but days of reading the Quran on a mountaintop, engaging in just like the most violent sex.
Yeah. Yeah. Like at some point, this guy's like, I can't physically
do this anymore.
Yeah. Like I have a fissure for sure.
He's like, I can barely make it back down the mountain.
Yeah.
Like I can barely walk. There's just a trail of blood behind him.
Put the magic. It's like, there's nothing magical about this.
My asshole hurts.
A
Aleister.
lot.
When he gets back to London, his old boy Mather sues Crowley for essentially publishing the secrets of the Golden Dawn with his new group, AA. Crowley ultimately wins the very public court case and gains further fame, leaning into being a Satanist and a fan of human sacrifice, despite being neither. He was just trolling.
Yeah, he's just like, yeah, sure, I love that shit.
What an edgelord douche.
He kind of is, yeah. He started expanding AA with Scarlet Women.
First off, he's not an edgelord. Okay, if you're butt fucking a guy into surrender, basically on top of a mountain, like you're not edgelording, you're doing it.
You're just lording.
Yeah, you're lording.
He's edging.
Yeah, like
he's
he's not.
edging.
No, he finishes every time. He ain't edging.
Edgelord is almost like fake. You know what I mean? It's like not committed to it. You're just saying things. But like he's living that life.
He's about that life.
Yeah, he is 100,000,000% about that life.
Yeah. So he starts expanding AA with a bunch of like Scarlet Women under him that he'd bang under the guise of studying together.
I just love that this guy's like, I want it all.
Yeah, dude.
All.
That is so much for a single life. What a legend.
He would also do public performances with his new group while drinking peyote spiked punch and incorporating anal sex magic.
Anal sex magic.
While doing a bunch of peyote.
This is a public show?
Oh
yeah, they would do a bunch of public
Dude,
shows.
peyote and anal. Peyote and anal. I'm gonna sell a T-shirt that just says peyote and anal.
Getting up on stage, doing anal.
We used to be a proper world, you know, just doing art.
Yeah.
That's what I call art.
I mean, at some point, that's pretty much what it is. But wait, no, I'm sorry. He was butt fucking people on a stage.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes.
Like they're like, and now, ladies and gentlemen.
Dude, I saw a sex show in Thailand. Like it was just two people went on stage and fucked.
Oh, really?
And they wore masks. And then afterwards, like,
were they both Thai?
Yeah, they were both Thai. And then like they had like an old lady come on stage and like pulled fish hooks out of her vagina on a string.
What?
It was crazy. And I was like, dude, that's not
gnarly as
it's
hell.
not sharp. That's definitely staged. And she must have heard me say it because she pointed at me and made me come on stage. And she made me touch the hook. And I was
You
like,
started to bleed.
It was sharp. It was sharp. And then and then afterwards, the people that fucked. Like, the woman comes on stage, and she's holding a drum, and she gets on her knees, and they're both deadpan staring in the audience, and the guy's deadpan staring in the audience, and he just takes his dick out and just thwaps it against the drum a few times.
Sweet.
It was awesome. But yeah, sex shows. Hell yeah. Go to Thailand. Check it out.
Jesus.
In his ritual that he called the Mass of the Phoenix, participants had to consume cake of light, which was his version of the Eucharist. But instead of the body and blood of Christ, it was full of jizz and menstrual blood of his fellow members.
Oh my God. See, that's like.
Okay, he's deep in the syphilis brain now.
Yeah.
He's getting more and more disgusting.
But it is like, what's your religion? Oh, we fucking jizz on a cake, and it's jizz and period blood. Like, it's just, it's like a fifth grader's idea of something.
Yeah, like when you're playing Mad Libs
Yeah.
in fourth grade, just come up with the most disgusting shit you can.
Yeah, oh, period. You have to eat period blood, and then.
Well, it definitely kind of elevates when he initially beefs with this German cult called the Ordo Templi Orientis, or OTO, but becomes friends with their leader, and he starts his own English branch. So he kind of incorporates. They're a big like sex cult in Germany, so he's taking all the German sex stuff
The Scheisse.
and then just doing his own kind of version of it.
Perfect.
And that's kind of when everything kind of gets nuts.
Oh, it's just now getting nuts.
Yeah. Now things get crazy.
What part of this inspired John Lennon? Like that's what I want to know.
Crowley headed to America and made money in New York writing for Vanity Fair, along with collecting dues for members of his cult. Claiming to be of Irish ancestry and won an Irish independence, he took a pro-German stance against England in World War I.
Yeah, there were a lot of people that did that. Like, for sure, there were a lot of people.
And he became a writer for the German propaganda paper, The Fatherland.
Yeah.
Boo.
No, the Irish were absolutely rooting for the Germans in World War One, like full stop. Which is fine. Everyone was an asshole in World War One. There wasn't a good guy.
Well, the Irish were salty about England.
I know.
Fucking them over.
They're like, good, kill all
As
those
they,
fuckers.
As they should be, man. That's way too modern still.
Oh yeah, the potato famine was not. The thing that shocked me about the potato famine is there were plenty of potatoes to go around. The England was just taking them
Oh, they
all.
starved them, yeah.
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 Oh, I'm not even talking about the 1800s. I'm talking about the fucking 1960s and 70s when they put Northern Irishmen, Catholics, into internment camps.
Oh shit, I didn't know about this.
I didn't either. I found out like last week. Like, that's way too modern.
That is so recent.
That happened
Jesus
yesterday.
Christ.
Yeah.
How are they able to exist at all with each other? Like, you put my grandpa in an internment camp. I mean, I guess we did that to the
So
Japanese.
the
here,
IRA
but-
makes way more sense now. I'm like,
Yeah.
all right,
Shit.
get that now.
Oh God.
He traveled across the country and continued his sex magic operation in writing. He spent a good time of his tour and fell in love with, of course, the city of New Orleans.
Oh, well, that's black magic 101. That's ground fucking zero. You can actually, if there's one city where you could feel the magic,
The voodoo.
it's fucking New Orleans.
Yeah. He writes
Oh,
some
yeah.
past life stories and him being a former pope and Chinese emperor.
Yeah, well, you're never just some guy.
But he's struggling at this point pretty hard financially and goes back to England in 1920. They don't forget his propaganda pieces for Germany during World War I, and he is seen as a traitor to the country while he's back. At this time, he gets sick again and gets addicted to heroin.
Well, you know, he was doing opium before. Why not upgrade? I also think he just goes back to England. He's like, hey, guys. And like half the country died in World War One.
Like, you dick.
You fucking, they're just
Like,
like
we already
waiting.
didn't like you.
Yeah, they're like waiting for him with clubs. They're just like, hello, Aleister.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, welcome back, boy.
He starts up his cult shit again in England, makes his followers drink cat's blood, and cut themselves with razors every time they use the word I.
It's we.
What? Who, like, some people just need to belong real bad.
Yeah. And at this point, I get to the part of the story where I'm like, all right, this is just, like, we're harping on the same
He
shit.
does it the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah, so the cycle of depravity and destitution continues for a few more decades. He pops out a few more kids with other women, gets even more drug addicted to other things, writes every thought that pops in his head, and fucks every man and woman that he comes across. He's deported at one point by Mussolini in Italy because he has his own little kind of compound where he is fucking these women, but then there's a bunch of these sex rituals. The kids aren't involved, but they do watch.
They're involved then.
Yeah, so they
Yeah.
it gets to the point where Mussolini fucking Mussolini is disgusted, so he deports
Yeah,
him.
Mussolini's like, you're too fucked up, man. Like, get the fuck out of here.
So he gets deported by Italy for being too fucked up.
Yeah, by Mussolini.
By noted
He's
fascist.
pissed off every country on every side of every issue.
He also gets deported from France because they're like, you're a German asset.
I mean, France should hate him even more than England.
Dude, France doesn't fuck with anything German.
They got fucked twice as hard as England did during World War One. I would be like, yeah, fuck off. Don't come in here. He's like, guys, nothing personal to you. I like you guys, but fuck England.
He tries to get a little bit more publicity and buzz by faking his death in Lisbon. That doesn't really pop off the way he wants. He's like, oh, damn, nothing sold
No
after
one
that.
cared, huh?
No one cared.
Damn.
Declared bankruptcy in England in like 35. And then he tried to convert Hitler to his religion.
Go on.
Although it doesn't work because Adolf labels him a black magician and not a friend of the Nazi party.
So, but he met Hitler? He met Hitler
Yeah.
and was like,
He met.
walk into
I
a
think
r-
he met people around Hitler.
Okay.
And they were like, "Oh, hey, Adolf, you wanna meet Aleister Crowley?" And he's like, "Fuck no."
I just like that he kind of wanted to shoot his shot to see if he could get Hitler to suck his dick.
That would have been sick,
Right? He's like, man, that's my mark.
dude. What if it was this total butterfly effect, or just this crazy cycle of like Aleister Crowley at 17 gets like syphilis,
Yeah.
eventually transmits it to Hitler, and that's what makes Hitler go crazy.
Right. Hitler was just going to make Germany great again. But then he got Aleister Crowley's fucking god-tier syphilis that had been fermenting in his body for 40 years.
And he lost his
Just
mind.
went fucking bananas.
He also offered his services to British intelligence agencies before the war, and they were just like, "No, we're good."
Yeah, please
They
leave.
declined.
Please leave.
His health got worse, and with no other option, turned back to heroin, turned back to the needle, which he was on it and off again for pretty much the remaining of his life.
What I don't. How did this guy get famous? Like just his poems and shit, his writing.
I think it was the public blood and anal sex performances.
Yeah, he's a tabloid queen. He's a tabloid
Okay.
darling, I should
He was
say.
also
Yeah.
rich as fuck at first, and then he blew all his money because he clearly, I mean, he saw the world.
Right. But yeah, that is true too. So he was rich and he did crazy things. So he's just and at this time
And he was a good writer, so he could write about it. And Vanity Fair.
There are British tabloid. I mean, you can imagine that person now. Like, say there's like some Kardashian cousin, right? It was just enough money to be considered rich or whatever, and they are just no one actually cares about them, but they have the name and they do weird shit.
I would say it's more of like a Branson type, right? Like a Richard Branson.
Yeah, but not even as cool as Richard Branson.
No, he
But
doesn't
Richard
actually-
Branson isn't eating period blood cakes.
We don't know that. We don't know
You
that.
don't
might.
know that.
He might be.
It's impossible to know.
So he devised a succession plan for his cult and got his ducks in a row in 1940. But Crowley doesn't actually die until 1947. This is a fun little kind of urban legend. Refusing to refill his prescription for morphine for his asthma and bronchitis, Crowley allegedly put a curse on his last doctor, and that guy died within 24 hours of Aleister.
Okay.
That's that magic, dude.
Is that mad? That's a butt sex magic.
That's the plot twist. The magic was real.
Yeah, the whole time.
Crowley's funeral had about a dozen people attend, and it was labeled a black mass by the British tabloids.
12 people. That's rough.
It's unfortunate. His body was cremated and sent to Karl Germer, who he had named his successor. Germer spread his ashes in a garden in Hampton, New Jersey.
Oh, he's here?
Yeah.
Boo.
In his autobiography, Crowley wrote that his purpose in life was to bring Oriental wisdom to Europe and restore paganism in its purest form.
Sure. No. Your goal in life was to shoot lassos into every hole you could find. That's your only goal in life.
Some actually suggest that Crowley was a spy for British Secret Services, and that among other things, he joined the Golden Dawn under their command to monitor the activities of Mathers.
Okay.
So he may have been an asset, an agent
When?
for to investigate the Golden Dawn.
So like early in his life, kind of, right?
Mhm.
I guess he was already like a fucking wild card, but I guess he still had maybe like some pedigree early on. He hadn't flushed his name down the toilet yet. Did he just go native? Like he was like, this shit's pretty sweet.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe he was their Epstein. We don't know.
We don't.
We'll never know. We'll never get the files. We'll
But
never
Drop
get
the Aleister
list.
Crowley
It seems
files.
like Crowley.
drop the Crowley list.
Yeah,
Dude.
drop. The Crowley list is just everyone that Crowley penetrated. Like it's just
It's
like
a long list.
it's just imagine the list. The Epstein list is just Epstein butt fucked Bill Gates. Epstein had anal sex with Bill Clinton. Epstein, you know what I mean? Like it's just the only thing you learn is that he just talked to all these people into sucking his dick and stuff. Nothing illegal happened. It's just like, oh my god, every rich person.
Including potentially one founder of Scientology, L. Ron Hubbard.
Now, when did they meet?
The 40s. So
Okay.
like very late in his life.
Yeah. So after World War II, probably even.
He was like on his deathbed. So maybe he got a little last second suck by L. Ron Hubbard.
You never. Let's pretend like that happened.
I want to live in a world where L. Ron Hubbard sucked this
A
dude's
dying
dick.
Aleister Crowley's dick.
That's what killed him. That final orgasm was too much.
He actually sucked out like all the theons and
Thetans.
Yeah,
the
the
thetans.
Yeah.
He sucks his dick, and he's like, that's when he got the idea for Scientology.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, it's come to me.
Yeah, he sucked all the thetans out, took the Crowley power, and started Scientology.
Yeah, Crowley actually, after L. Ron Hubbard sucked his dick, looked like those dudes in The Mummy after the mummy takes the jar from him.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, God.
He was included as one of the figures on the cover art of the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper album.
Sgt. Pepper, dude, that's their greatest album.
Yep. Led Zeppelin's co-founder, Jimmy Page, actually bought his Scottish property in 1971. And part of the band's film, The Song Remains the Same, was filmed on the grounds.
Yeah, that's just like normal heavy metal shit, I feel like. Oh,
Yeah.
look at this. We got Aleister Crowley's skull. I swear black magic happens whenever you walk by. Isn't that so metal? Isn't that so hardcore?
That's Geronimo, dude.
It's so rock and roll.
Poor Geronimo.
I know.
Yeah, we just got it. LSD guru Timothy Leary once claimed that by carrying on much of the work of Crowley in the 60s themselves was just essentially Crowley's creation.
Okay.
David Bowie's #1 hit single Let's Dance paraphrases Crowley's 1923 poem Lyric of Love to Leah. And of course, we have Ozzy Osbourne's Mr. Crowley.
Which Dan was playing before we went on air.
Yeah. And Iron Maiden also has several references to Crowley.
Yeah. It's like, oh, so dark, so heavy metal. Aleister Crowley. You remember that guy? He did black magic. Really just butt fuck people on top of mountains. It's so metal.
It is pretty metal.
It's pretty metal. To take a guy to the top of a mountain and just blast him until
Until he leaves.
yeah,
He's like,
until
I'm going home.
I can't. It's all consensual, but he's just like, I can't do this anymore.
I'm out.
Yeah.
Done.
My asshole is destroyed.
And that is the story of Aleister Crowley.
What a man.
What did you learn today?
I didn't know anything about him. I knew the name. That was really about it. So everything. I learned that basically he did a lot to justify his sex addiction.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 What about you, Bish?
I learned that people back then were really fucking stupid, and you can just say that, oh, I'm going to give you magic powers if you let me rim you.
Yeah.
And people would believe
They'll
it.
do it.
Yeah. Nowadays, I feel like being really intelligent is almost a curse, and you're just like burdened by the weight of the world. But back then, you could just manipulate people so much easier.
Or not be manipulated.
Yeah.
Right? Like it was used. Yeah, now if you know what's going on, you're just like, I don't want to do this. I want to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Who is today's Hitler?
It's Aleister Crowley's today's Hitler. Or maybe it's Hitler for not sucking Aleister Crowley's dick. Can it? I mean, Hitler was in the story, so it feels
Yeah.
like.
Weird though, because Hitler does get into occultism,
I know.
but he starts his own thing.
Yeah.
He's like, we're gonna steal fucking Egyptian monuments and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say it's probably Alesiter Crowley. Maybe the maid who molested him that sent him down this path.
Dude, yeah, he's just a victim of trauma.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He, at some point, though, your trauma doesn't matter if you inflict it.
Yeah,
100x,
yeah, for sure.
Especially on just one guy's butthole alone, let alone every single. I mean, he was just like a piece of shit, just a piece of shit.
Some people trauma dump. He was trauma pumping.
I don't know. Thought he was pretty sweet.
I mean, he was
Look,
legendary.
he left it all on the field.
Spent every goddamn penny he inherited.
Yeah.
He did not let a single penny go to waste.
Nope.
Truly, he couldn't have died with regrets.
Did his what did his kids end up? What did his child end up?
Well, it
doing?
is funny you say that, Rob.
Okay.
Did he die with regrets? Maybe, because there is, these are all just kind of, hearsay stories, but apparently on his deathbed, he like screamed out like, "Oh God, what did I do?"
What have I done? You did everything.
I think he met God.
What haven't you done? That's the better question.
Yeah. They're like, oh, you wanted to do satanic magic? Well, here's hell.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I
was
didn't
like,
think
oh,
God was going to answer for my
shit,
crime.
Yeah. Fuck. I got to do that stuff for what? 40 years?
So
So
that's
now I
a-
have to do this forever?
Might be a win for the Pope.
Yeah, Pope wins, remember? I'll tell you who was one of the heroes of the story. Benito Mussolini.
Great guy.
Which is like, you got to get out of my country,
Yeah.
dude.
What?
You got to go.
You're having kids watch you fuck? Get out.
That was a bridge too far for the Italians.
For Mussolini. He used to kill people by pouring motor oil down their throat and shit. Yeah.
Yep. Anyway, that's our episode for today. We love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Boosh. Thank you for joining us,
Love you,
man.
baby.
Dude, love you guys too, man.
Where can
Always
people
glad to
find
be
you?
here.
Where can the good people find you?
Oh, at What's Up Boosh on all the social medias. Mostly Instagram is where my
IG.
IG is where I
Perfect.
post my.
And we also have a Patreon. Check out our patreon.com/softcore history where you get 2 additional episodes that drop on Wednesday and Friday. We have a sketch that's about to come out.
Can record it tomorrow morning.
Another Helen Slugman.
Another Alan Slugman sketch. Yes. I'll have to include Aleister Crowley into one of those.
Apparently, we got to get that reference in now.
Yeah.
Do
I
some
didn't
rewrites.
realize. I had no idea.
Maybe we'll do. We should maybe get White Stains and read it.
Yeah. We should get that. And
We should at least get it on the set. If somebody at home's listening right now, please
Dude, let's do
send us the White
we've
Stains
done
book.
We've done watch along. Let's do a read along.
Let's do a read along.
Yeah, why not?
All right. Bush, again, thank you for joining us.
Dude, thank
Rob.
you.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, happy to be here.
Kid number 3's on the way.
Yeah, any day.
Help financially support us.
For the love of God, please.
His wife doesn't work.
She doesn't.
Well, she's just so busy pumping them out, dude.
Well, we're done. All right, I'm putting a coffee stopper in my penis, and we're never having another kid again.
It's unnatural. Don't do that.
Yeah,
Are you getting a vasectomy?
yeah, I'm gonna vasectomy.
Don't do that, dude.
I know.
Take the no.
You're slapping God.
3
in the
is
face.
enough.
I should be making white stains for the rest of my life.
You should.
I know.
It's not going to
Dude,
be
yeah,
the same.
definitely. Yeah, dude. Snip, and then you can just dump loads on your wife without worry.
Shooting hollow ropes.
Yeah.
Or just do a better job tracking the moon.
Oh my God, no, that's work.
Pull out game weak, Rob.
Pull
Pull
out
out game
hella
is
weak.
so weak.
Yeah, hella weak.
Anyway, thanks for tuning in. For Rob Fox, Alex Buscemi, I'm Dan Regester, and you just got saucered.